Here's what's new tonight at 11. It's his first night back after 2 months off treating prostate cancer. Tonight, Joe Torre and the world champs are in Beantown. News 2's Gary Apple is live. Also, a New York to St. Louis flight is forced to land in Philadelphia. We'll tell you why. There's one thing even a high roller can't find in Atlantic City. It's something the rest of us all take for granted. And guess how Paula Jones is giving Dionne Warwick some competition? Not singing. See you at 11.
Tonight on News 2 at 11, the tearful testimony from the mother accused of starving her baby to death by only breastfeeding him. Hear how she defends her actions. Then the faithful say the Blessed Mother protected them from the ravages of war. News 2's Kendra Farn takes you to Medjugorje. What is it about this special place that draws people from around the world? Plus, in less than 2 hours, the new Star Wars movie premieres. We're live on the ticket line talking to diehard fans. News 2 tonight.
Tonight at 11, Joe Torre's back. 2 months after his cancer surgery, we're live in Boston. And the emergency landings for 2 New York flights will tell you why they're grounded tonight.
Stand by for a whole lot of fun and music tonight. Carrie Russell, the great Aretha Franklin. Tonight's top 10 and a whole lot more. But first, you'll look at
It's time for News 2 at 11 with Dana Tyler, Stephen Clark, Mark Danon with weather, and Warner Wolf on sports.
Here's what's new tonight. Joe Torre's back managing the Yankees after a bout with prostate cancer. He made the call last night. Good evening. Torre was back in the dugout tonight with his world champs after a 2-month absence.
There was talk Torre would be back pretty soon, but he surprised his fans and decided tonight was the night. Torre returned to the helm with the Yankees in Boston. News 2 reporter Gary Apple has the latest live from Fenway Park. Gary, how'd he look?
Dana, he looked very good. This was a long game here at Fenway Park tonight, over 3.5 hours, and we were just in the clubhouse with Joe, and he looked refreshed, and he said he felt good, and he stuck to his word. Torre had said all along there was not going to be a lot of fanfare. He would decide one day he felt good enough to come back. He made that decision yesterday, and tonight he returned. It was the moment the Yankees and their fans had been waiting for. Joe Torre back in charge and back on the bench for the first time since being diagnosed with prostate cancer on March 10th.
Felt good. Felt good. It was exciting for me. I wasn't nervous. I think it was a nice feeling, you know, being involved again.
Torre, whose cancer was detected during a routine spring training physical, had insisted he would not rush back following cancer surgery on March 18th, instead patiently regaining his strength to regain his position as manager of baseball's premier team.
It's a special day not because of the Yankees or he's back for the ball game, but he's healthy and he's back and he's well. That's a special day.
Joe's return could not have come too soon. Despite the team entering the night in first place, they have been inconsistent, and Torre's calming influence has been missed.
I was hoping we would have won, but again, we played well, and we just, you know, we were bested tonight. But it lived up to expectations. I felt good. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be when the game started. I felt pretty, you know, I felt very good and just very calm.
And he looked good. Again, that's the important thing, and I really think George Steinbrenner hit it on the head when he said the most important thing here is that Joe is healthy. Baseball is secondary. Right now, Joe seems to be cancer-free. We are live in Boston. I'm Gary Apple, News 2. Warner's back in a little while. He'll have the highlights and more of the postgame from Joe. Guys?
Good news that he's back. The highlights, a little bit of bad news. We'll cover that later. Also, a bad night for New York air travelers on a couple flights tonight. A threatening letter was found aboard TWA Flight 845 from New York to St. Louis. So the flight was diverted to Philadelphia. The crew and 94 passengers had to get off the plane and wait for 2 hours while investigators went over the plane with a fine-tooth comb. They didn't find anything, so the plane took off and completed the trip to St. Louis.
And a scary ride for passengers on board a jet that overheated while landing at Kennedy Airport. Tower Air says the brakes started smoking when the 747 landed. That usually happens when the aircraft is too heavy, causing it to land hard. 422 people were on the plane. Emergency crews came to spray down the bottom of the aircraft as crew members and passengers were holed up inside.
The huge smoke, and it looked like we went into the clouds, and then we noticed police and fire department, everybody there, and there were a few people that were panicking. They were about to burst because of the heat.
No one was hurt. The flight originated from Miami.
News 2 has learned there is a snag in that move to repeal New York City's commuter tax for upstate and Long Island residents. The Democratic Assembly Speaker Sheldon Silver is sitting on the bill, refusing to allow Republican Governor George Pataki to sign it and grab credit for eliminating the tax. Pataki had scheduled an elaborate signing ceremony for tomorrow. That's off for now. It's still not clear how long Silver will continue to hold on to that bill.
The city by the sea is dry tonight after a water main break. It's so bad in Atlantic City, you can't take a shower there till Thursday morning. News 2 reporter Colette Cassidy has the latest on this water emergency.
It calls itself America's playground, but Atlantic City is having major problems catering to its guests and its residents tonight. The city that sits on an ocean has a water shortage and right now is in a limited state of emergency. This is what caused the problem, a tiny crack in one of 2 giant lines that brings water to the city. Now the Department of Health has ordered people not to shower, bathe, or drink water, or use it for anything that's not an absolute necessity.
Make sure they fill up their bathtubs, with water so that they have drinking water, water to wash with.
A major inconvenience for a city of casinos, hotels, and restaurants. These men are staying at the Holiday Inn and are trying to get by with bottled water.
We had a notice under our door telling us that there was going to be some work being done to the water.
Crews are working around the clock to repair the valve. It is 88 years old and weighs 12 tons. And they say they caught the crack just in time.
If it wasn't taken care of and it had burst on its own, then we'd really be in trouble because you'd have all that water pressure going all over and it may take a couple weeks to repair it.
Worst case scenario, it will take until Thursday morning. This is already having a major effect on the city. Already 2 schools have announced they will be closing early tomorrow. In Atlantic City, I'm Colette Cassidy, News 2.
At the Abner Louima police torture trial, potential bombshell testimony from a man who shared a jail cell with Louima. Connell Lug had been arrested for assaulting a police officer. Lug testified he saw Louima led past his cell toward the prisoner's bathroom. Said he had his pants and underwear at his ankles. Later, Lug said he heard screams coming from that bathroom. Then minutes later, Louima